Hello everybody, it's your main man Mike Man here today, back with another Apex video. This time it's not a montage, it's just pure thoughts video on Mirage Ult, new Mirage Ult versus old Mirage Ult. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this video, because I like making it. Now, when the Season 5 first came out, I was thinking, is Mirage's new ult better than his old ult? And I said yes. But over time, I've poured time into this character, got him to about 1,500 kills, and I changed my mind. I believe old ult was better, right? Now, the new ult makes you invisible for about 2 seconds and releases 6 decoys almost completely identical to you. I say almost because they don't have a gun on their back, which I really hope is a bug. I really hope that's a bug. And I assume that if they don't change the ult back to old ult or something, that they're gonna edit that out. You know, they're gonna patch that out. I hope that's a bug. I really hope that's a bug. Because I've screwed over so many Mirages with that over the past few months. My dog's right in front of me. She's so nice. Now the new ult, it still has its merits, you know? It still adds a lot of confusion to the fight, allowing for like effective cover. Because people always try to not get bamboozled. Like, they'll still see, say, your allies. Like, there's plenty of times where I ult on a rotation to do my best to distract the enemy from shooting at us. You know, like, they'll be on high ground. Yeah, specifically, they'll be on high ground and we have to rotate through low ground, right? So I ult to try to draw attention towards myself, you know? Well, not to myself, but to the decoys, you know? People don't like getting bamboozled. Like, you could just shoot every single clone you see, but people don't do that, you know? It's like, if Mirage ult's in your face and you're capable of reacting fast enough to, like, say you have a Mastiff and you just mow them all down, well, good job, I guess. You took out, like, what, 6? No, you didn't take out 6. You can't. I've never seen someone take out all 6 at once. The most I've seen is, like, people take out 3 at the same time, you know? But it's still not easy to take all of them out at once, you know? It's still... The only way to counter it is to just not shoot and anticipate, or just be lucky or find the Mirage, the real Mirage, as fast as you possibly can, right? So it's still hard to counter, you know? But if you're an experienced Mirage, it just won't work as well against you, you know? It's like it's kind of like, if you read comic books, kind of like Cyclops, right? Can't shoot himself, you know? He's immune to his own power. Yeah, it's like that. What's next? It has a 60-second cooldown. That's great. You know, 60 seconds. You always have it when you need it. It's still a great escape. And that's about where it ends, you know? Like, if somebody sees you do it, and they're like really close and they keep their eyes on you the whole time, and you don't like crouch to get behind them or something, or do a sudden change in direction, they will know that they'll know which one's real, because they'll see the emitters on your arms, you know, which I still don't think should be a thing, but it's there since the Lost Treasures pack. No, I think on the ult it was already there pre-Lost Treasures, but it's where am I going with this? But it was always on the ult, but now it's on the res too, which I also don't think should be a thing. But that's a topic for another day. What else? I actually wrote some of this stuff down. You're proud of me? Now, these decoys, they still copy you, right? I forgot to bring that up earlier. So, you know, that's good. But if you're rezzing somebody, they'll know you're rezzing, which, I mean, I get it. But I wouldn't be mad if they went invisible, though, when you rez. I wouldn't be mad if they did that. either way, when they're rezzing, you're invisible. So, it balances each other out, So it's fine. It's all good. And the res is loud anyway. So it's like, they're gonna know, if they hear it. Now, the old ult, right? It made Mirage almost fully invisible for 6 seconds, and he got a 20% speed buff. Now, while the new ult can still allow you to flank people very well, old ult lets you do that faster and in a more unexpected fashion. There was no roll of the dice of somebody getting lucky and beaming you instead of beaming a decoy, right? It was just, I go invis, you don't know I'm invis because I did it behind a wall, or I did it in front of you, and I just didn't go behind you like you thought I would. I went on a rock that's 20 feet above you, and I beamed you from there instead, and now you're dead, and we're fighting a 2v3. You're welcome, team. That's what it was back then. It wasn't necessarily a free kill, but it was a free flank opportunity, It was, when you ulted, you had that golden opportunity, and you could go ham with it. It was a tool that I think every character would want to have, just invisibility, like fast invisibility. Lets you get into a fight, lets you disengage from a fight and reset yourself if you really need to. It was a get out of jail free card, but it was your ult, so it's balanced, Yeah. It was just that much better, in my opinion. Now, the decoys on that ult, on old ult, they could be hidden, but they still telegraph the invis if they saw them. But that wasn't too much of a problem for me, at the very least. They'll know I'm invis, but they don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. They might just be spinning around, waiting for me to pop out of nowhere behind them, but I'm not exactly behind them, so I still have the first shot, that's what Mirage is all about, getting the first shot, right? Even though it did have a longer cooldown, I do believe it was about 90 seconds, but I think that was worth it for the invis. Now, I don't want them to just revert the ult. I would rather them just buff the old ult. Not by too much, I'd rather them just I either want them to increase the invisibility to 10 seconds, make Mirage sort of an initiator, say, what's a good place? Say Runoff, right? If you were at the beginning of Runoff and you saw people at the longer house, if you know what I mean, you couldn't trek across. You'd have to go halfway across Runoff. You couldn't do that with old ult. But if it lasted 10 seconds, still with the speed buff, you probably could. You probably could, Maybe that's a little too far, but I just want the range to be a little more, Make it a little bit better of an escape, This duration is the main factor to making that ult good, in my opinion. Either do that or now. Hear me out here. Hear me out. Just combine them. Lower the invis to 5 seconds, maybe. Maybe not 5. Nah, just keep it at 6, and make it so that no matter what, without any delay, whenever you go out of your ult, when your invisibility fades, you got the 6 decoys. Easy. I feel like that would make Mirage so much better because he still has all the good stuff from the old ult and all of the good stuff from the new ult. Try to look me in the eyes and tell me that you don't want invisibility. Every Mirage main wishes they had invisibility, right? It's invisibility. It's just that good, I want more invisibility. I don't want more decoys. What I mean is I wouldn't trade decoys I know I wouldn't trade invisibility for decoys. I'll trade decoys for invisibility, right? But I just want to keep my invisibility. You know, it just helps. See, my dog agrees. Sophie, you agree, right? Yeah, she agrees. As for other changes, I mean, that's for another video. Maybe oh well, this is another thing. If you wanted to, keep the ult the same and just add invisibility to everything slow. You know, like when he reses at a respawn beacon, guy's standing still. You know, so let's make him invisible. When he's resing somebody, he's standing still, very vulnerable. Make him invisible. What about when he's healing? When he's healing, standing still, well, sitting still, crouching still. Make him invisible. You know, like, I don't know how I lived through this, but yeah, that's another thing they could do. You know, and keep the ult the same. I wouldn't be mad if they did that too. You know, it'd be kind of selfish, but yeah, it's gonna be selfish. But I like it. I still like it though. I would prefer like just the ult change, combining of the two ults, because then it's like, if anyone played Final Fantasy 14, right? There's there's two characters I can think of, two classes rather, the Black Mage and the Samurai, who don't have any party utility, not necessarily, except for their damage, right? Mirage already is like, he doesn't have much utility outside of like you being able to use your gun really good, you know? Like his decoy is made for you to get the first shot and kill a dude easier, you know, than other characters. You know? That's what I feel like his decoy's made for you to do. Well, with all the decoys are for you to do, you know what I mean? So I don't see the problem in allowing him to just do that better with the old ult, while still allowing him to create confusion in the fight and draw attention towards himself so that other characters can do more damage without getting hit themselves. You know what I mean? Let them get the first shot too. Let them get in on this this Mirage pie, you know, this holographic pie. You know? Shoot. That's the way I see it. Enjoy the rest of the video. MyCommand out.
Ring's close. 1 more minute.
Until the ring.
Give him my shield to recharge. Pay attention, gang. That's hard. Dupes to the rescue. Look at you.
You are the Apex Champions.